10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestle Talk Podcast. This is episode 545. People, we are 5 episodes away from 550. That is a long time to be on the air. That's a long time to have any show running. You got weekly episodes that don't even run this much. We are at 545, guys, almost 550 episodes of this. Tonight, we have a very special guest, Mr. High Flyer Alexander Edison. We'll bring him on in the second half to get his talk on some wrestling, get his information, interview him, brag a little bit about him. This man, if you hadn't seen some of his matches and stuff, I would highly recommend looking him up. We'll get all the information in a little bit. But co-hosting tonight, we have Mr. Perry Hartman, as y'all know, Big Daddy P. How you doing, Mr. Perry?
Vertical, my brother. Not everybody woke up this morning. So the fact that he got me up and then had my schedule open up that I could, because let me tell you, when y'all reach out, when I see that Batman symbol, we need Big Daddy P, we need some help. I can't help but answer the call.
That's right, man. And, you know, speaking of the Batman signal, I get that here all the time. I'm on call 24/7, and they might as well just hang one right here by my window, because in the middle of the night, I get calls about the most random nonsense maintenance, and I'm like, okay. So you might as well just have a bat signal. Like the maintenance signal is what it needs to be, just right here by my window. All right, so getting on in today's episode, we cannot start off without first and foremost, let's shoot down here to First and foremost, we have got to play, and we got to start it with our national anthem. And nobody sings it better than this woman right here. We're going to start it off with our national anthem. So, guys, hats off. Y'all excuse my blindness here. For y'all that have sensitive ears, cover your ears, hands over your heart, and let's listen to the national anthem here. Oh man, you know that last part, every single time it just touches me in ways that I'm not real comfortable with. You know, I mean, it hurts my ears and touches my soul at the same time. It kind of makes me want to cry. I don't know if it's because of the high pitch, the squealing, or just out of pure pride. You know,
all of the above. Although you do have to respect the fact that she at least is willing to speak her mind and not sugarcoat it. Whether if you agree or not is irrelevant. I think that's what makes America America. I mean, we can have this show. If we were in another country, we might get banned.
Thank you. And, you know, that's what I think a lot of people really overlook these days. I think it should be all about speaking your mind, speaking your heart, and not really taking offense to every single little thing that people say. And we'll get into that. We have a whole segment where we can just rant and rave about that, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But All right, so tonight's show, as we said, we have a special guest, Mr. Alex Anderson. I believe he's actually from right here in Georgia, right up the road from me, if I read that right. So we'll get into that here in a little bit because he's from a town that's probably, if I read it right, about an hour up the road from me, and I'm actually going to be there probably next week. So if he's in town, I have to holler at him. All right. So starting off the show, we have... Well, let's get on into some of these little high spots here. And if y'all don't know what high spots are, that is where, let's see, we come up with random stuff to talk about in the world of wrestling, and we get to talk trash about it. All right, so if my lady's backstage, I don't see her backstage. And I know I'm overlooking something. They'll probably scold me about one of these segments in a minute I overlooked here. All right, so getting into some high spots. And she might have lost signal. We might have lost her for a minute. It's all good. We'll get through it. All right, so our first high spot, we're going to hit this randomizer real quick. We're going to scroll over here. You know what? The heck with that randomizer. That thing is loud. It is in my ear. And let's see. We got Miss Susie backstage already. Well, if my computer cooperates, y'all excuse me, man. I'm down in South Georgia. We got some like really crappy signal in most of these parts. Anyway, y'all have had the randomizer. I'm fixing to hit the banner here. If she could hear me backstage, you know, we can. All right, so we're gonna pull it up like this then. Jeez. All right, AEW, where wrestlers come to wrestle, or where wrestlers come to retire. See, that's a good one. That is a good one. So, Mr. Perry, I'm gonna let you start this one. What's your thoughts on AEW and the current situation with these veteran wrestlers or so-called veterans, you know?
I think they go where the money goes. I mean, that's number one, the first thing. Got to get business out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
So if they have a guaranteed contract with WWE and then, again, a Legends contract has some limitations on what you can do and where you can go. And unfortunately, because we live in such a polarizing country, politics sometimes get in the way. And if you're willing to lose half your audience, then that's your right to do that. But there's no doubt about it that if you're going to choose to go somewhere else, you have a handful of choices of where you can go.
Yeah.
And some of them you would go to, like a TNA or a Ring of Honor, right? Because they want to make sure that you're ready. A lot of times, many of them will go to AEW and then come back. CM Punk. So
thank you.
So that's my thoughts.
With me, it's a hit and miss. Look, I'm all into following the money. I really am. My problem with the jumping ship as much as they do, and especially, and I'll bring him up because he's the most recent one, Mick Foley. Okay, for one, politics shouldn't have anything to do with making money. Just make your money and shut up. You're getting paid to entertain. You're not getting paid to be a politician. You know what I'm saying? We don't really care where you stand politically. Just do what we pay you to do. That's just kind of my thoughts on that. And this is like here at my job. I can care less what any of my bosses think politically. As long as my check comes through and it don't bounce, I can care less. Not
only that, though, really quickly, too, think about it. There are situations where a lot of times we don't know if they're in AEW, but they're working for WWE.
True.
I am still not 100% convinced that Chris Jericho is not going to be back.
Thank you. My issue with Mick Foley, though, is I honestly believe there was more behind the scenes. He could use politics as an excuse all day long. And the problem I have with him is all of a sudden he's jumping over in AEW. He's taking a spotlight from younger people, younger talent, And you got to think, when I say, and I read the question as something like this: AEW had advertised for the longest time, for the past couple of years, since their beginning, that this is where the best come to wrestle. This is we're making new stars. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And they dogged WWE so badly about having old wrestlers. Okay, they're not making any new stars. They bury their young talent. So what is AEW doing, and what are they showing the world if they're bringing in all the actual old, and I say old and washed up, because let's be honest, they're not putting on their best matches. There is no way I'm fixing to go buy a ticket to go see Mick Foley wrestle. You know, I hadn't really bought a ticket to see him wrestle since like the 90s. Let's be honest, he really ain't that good no more because he's past his prime. Nobody wants to see it. I love Sting to death. I was a diehard Sting fan growing up. I didn't want to see Sting in AEW. And everybody wanted to praise his matches in AEW. No, I don't praise his matches in AEW. I thought his better years was back in WCW. TNA was great, but I don't really give two craps about seeing some of these guys wrestle anymore. And it's not that they don't have the star power. It's not they don't have the nostalgia. And I don't still look up to them as like my childhood heroes. But when you're past your prime and it's like, okay, it's your time to pass the torch. They're not passing the torch. They're wanting to hang on to every bit of relevancy they possibly can. And AEW is just riding that bandwagon of getting all these people that couldn't turn the crowd like they used to over in WWE. And I believe that's what AEW's problem is. It's like they're thinking they're winning when they're getting all these guys. They're like, okay, yeah, we're getting big names like Edge and Christian. Okay, yeah, look what happened when Edge and Christian went back to WWE. They had no reaction whatsoever. Great talent for the time they was in there. But once you retired and you had your last moments there, it was done. Okay, you had your great farewell. It's as bad as Ric Flair steady trying to wrestle. You have one of the greatest send-offs in wrestling history, and you ruin it by jumping to all these other promotions, still trying to remain relevant, still trying to act like you got one more left. Just hang it up. And I believe the AEW is really just riding that bandwagon of having these older stars. And it's not just AEW here lately. It's a lot of these places are putting, and I think that's another topic we'll get into here in a few minutes. I think it's one of our higher spots. There's only so far your career can go. And I'm not saying, quit, while you still feel like you got a lot left in you, but be real about it. When you have younger talent and the landscape of wrestling has changed so much that your style is just not there anymore, just call it quits. And I believe that they really need to just let Mick Foley go. I believe that he was very childish. I believe that he was pushing for another match in WWE, and they didn't give it to him, rightfully so, because it's not going to bring in any money. And all of a sudden, he jumps to AEW. He's bashing WWE, and then he's wanting another match. Oh, I'm fixing to wrestle another match. For what? Like, I mean, it's going to be a bathroom break. Everybody's going to get up and walk to the bathroom when he wrestles, unless he's going to do something extremely stupid at his age, and that brings in a whole nother set of questions. Why in your right mind at that age are you still going to put your body through that? And it makes no sense. You've made your money. You've made your stardom. You've made your legacy. Call it quits. But anyway, that's just my opinions on that. I did forget something, and I knew I was going to get called on it. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot have the Wrestle Talk podcast without our great sponsors. So, Wrestle Talk podcast would like to thank all of our great sponsors: Retro Zone Painter's Dream Podcast, the Independent St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame, Doomed Outfitters, owned by yours truly, World Domination Wrestling Alliance, I'm getting ahead of myself trying to read, and the FWWC, the world's premier fantasy wrestling, in which I am once again the greatest top star there. So if y'all ever want to see something great, go to FWWC. All right, so that is our great sponsors. I apologize for not bringing them up to start with. So on to Hello Wrestle Talk Podcast. What's up, man? All right, so let's go on to another subject here, another topic. If our backstage person don't mind hitting the randomizer, bringing up some stuff here, I will scroll and get the banner. Well, I thought we had her backstage. We may not have her backstage. It happens. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what you get when you have hillbilly internet. We love Susie, but she has hillbilly internet. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Banners. Okay. So we're going to scroll to another topic here. All right. Do you believe that the WWE will capitalize on the huge reaction that Chad Gable has received, or will he be sent back to the mid-card level? Yeah. That's a tough one. What's your thoughts on that one?
He's going right to the top. It's his time. He paid his dues by going to Triple. Again, man, you got to remember, this is business, and it's not the same wrestling business anymore. It is a multi-layered, multifaceted business that requires different people to do different things. So unless you're part of a layoff, just be glad of wherever you are, because it could be a test, right? But they've given him enough warning, I'm pretty sure, on the path they needed him to go because of what they were trying to do with AAA. And I think that, again, the way it ended up the way that it did, and now, what was that? Let's see.
Having Big Daddy P on the show almost make the fact that Ace is on my screen worth looking at. Oh, I already know who put that. Hoss, come on now, big man. Come on.
Anyway, but I think Chad Gable, there's no doubt about it, he's going up. He will be a champion at some point within the next 3 months. No doubt about it. It was great that he got away from Otis and them. I love them.
Oh, yeah.
But he just it was too, first of all, you can only have so many R-Truths.
True.
You can have so many CM Punks. You can have so many John Cenas. You can only have one Cody Rhodes. So in the end, the fact that he went and was premiering on AAA, which is now going to be in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, the game is being risen up, and he will definitely be a champion. Okay, I'll say 3 to 6 months.
Though, we thought the same thing, and I'll have to compare him to LA Knight. LA Knight had some of the loudest pops, the loudest reactions. Any arena, his merchandise was selling out. Yet absolutely nothing. Now, he was being put in main event
But that's
matches.
also because he appeared on Botchamania almost more than anyone. So Ruka's making her way to that one too. But anyway, that's
true. Hey, that's true. There's several different ways to look at it. I believe that there are so many reasons, why at this moment WWE is going to flop with him. They always do. And look how long it took for him to pull the trigger on Daniel Bryan when he was there. Look how long it took him to pull the trigger on, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn never had the trigger pulled on him, and he got some of the loudest pops at the time. The biggest thing he had going for him was the bloodline, and that was a joke. If WWE does it right, yes, capitalize now. If they do typical WWE fashion, they're going to do it just like LA Knight. They're going to let him just fade out to the sunset. They may put him in some high-stakes matches, but he's going to get buried every single time. I don't believe that he's going to win the belt unless it's a mid-card deal, and I think that's pretty much what they're going to do is stick him in the mid-card. They're like, oh, yeah, he's getting the loudest pops. Let's keep him in the mid-card and not make him who's really going to believe that he's going to go over Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes or even one of the Usos? And me, how I feel about that.
Did you see him throw around Monday night? He freaking threw 2 or 3. He did those German suplexes on who was it? 2 big guys. Come on. Rusev.
Rusev and whatever that guy's name. And I should have been paying more attention. I know it was Rusev. Yeah.
Both of those guys are good-sized guys. So
the respect he got because of that with the match. Yeah.
But because Kurt Angle is no longer active,
you
need that energy, and he's going to provide that.
I do too. I kind of see him taking that same path if they do it right. He could be like that Kurt Angle level superstar. I mean, he's already got the talent. He's already, he just earned a huge level of respect from people all over the world because of just simply giving the mask back to Rey Mysterio.
Correct. That alone. But did you notice the height difference between him and Rey Mysterio?
Oh, yeah.
Chad Gable's only like 5'6", I think.
He maybe 5'7" at the most. I'm
5'7". But Rey was way down. I was like, holy cow. I'm like,
yeah.
You would have put Roxanne Perez, that really would have been an interesting match there.
Oh, man. I believe that if they do it right and they ride the wave that he's already created, man, it would be absolutely amazing. If not, then they're going to flop. They're going to give him the LA Knight treatment, and he'll be in the high-stakes matches, but he won't amount to absolutely nothing. And they'll bury him every single time. And that's another thing is LA Knight. They are just killing it with LA Knight, man. He should have already been a champion by now. and they're putting him in all these matches. You already know he's not going to win. I mean, I don't want him to do the same to Chad Gable.
Multiple matches,
mm-hmm.
multiple commercials. Simultaneously, he's in both camps all night long. Whether it's an interview, whether if it's a Slim Jim commercial, whether if it's a Cricket Wireless commercial.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, man, the amount of
exposure. Yeah, he's getting exposure.
But again, he could be nursing an injury.
True. That's very true.
Because they're still using him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, let's see what we got here.
Plus, he just challenged Roman Reigns.
He did. My thing is with the Roman Reigns thing is just, you already know he's going to win. They're going to milk that to the extreme. I'm so sick of the Bloodline story. We'll get into that too. I'm just sick of that storyline. Okay, WWE does not know how to use talent, and some of the OGs are bratty. Let them get the shot on talent. Look at Becky and Charlotte. They need to let the younger guys and gals get some time. I kind of halfway agree to it. Yeah, I really do. I halfway agree. At the same time, though, which one of the younger talents are really selling out arenas? Let's be honest. And I think that really falls into reality. I mean, they're wanting to push these guys down everybody's throat. They're wanting to get high exposure. But, I mean, the crowd has no reaction to some of these guys. And they're wanting to make them to be something they're just not. And I think they push them way too soon. Then you have people like Chad Gable that's paid his dues. He's been a joke for probably the past year. Everybody knew it. He was nursing an injury. He come back, put on one of the best matches of the year as a pure out gimmick that wasn't even supposed to be taken serious to start with. And, somebody like that deserves a shot. And I know I'm going to get a lot of heat off of this one. I cannot stand CM Punk or AJ Lee or any of the rest of them that made their great appearance at WrestleMania just to take the spotlight away from everybody else. And I believe CM Punk is probably one of the most selfish ones because those two title shots could have went to somebody else. And instead of dropping the belt to a younger talent that could have got the push, like, say, LA, which LA Knight's not really younger, had he dropped it to somebody else, that'd have been great, and that'd have been a good career move. Instead, he gives it right back to Roman Reigns. Like, come on now, how much sense did that make? That was probably the most selfish thing. That is a Hulk Hogan move. I refuse to lose to somebody else. I'm not putting them over here. I'll give it to him. I mean, I don't know. I just cannot stand CM Punk. I believe that CM Punk is one too many. So, let's see. Somebody brought up, the Bella Twins. Let the newer folks have the tag titles. Okay, yeah, but they're the Bella Twins. Did you really expect them to do anything? They wasn't squat when they was in their prime. Just saying. All right. So I think we milked that one good enough. Let's see. Somebody says CM Junk should not be in WWE anyway. I agree. You cannot spend, and I'm glad they made up. I'm glad from a business standpoint, everybody was great and make amends and stuff from a professional standpoint. To bring him back and give him title shots is doing absolutely nothing but spoiling a little brat that sat there and bashed your business and run your company in the dirt for years. I don't agree with that. And he, from behind the scenes, everything I've ever heard about him, even meeting him in person, he's a jerk. Just he's a cancer to the business. All right.
Let me just say he's a business to the business. And whether if you like him or not, he puts asses in seats. He sells a lot of merchandise. He's connected to ESPN. He's connected to here. He's connected to there. So maybe what you see on the front end would give you that perception. However, what you don't see on the back end is a different story because he knows how to make money for wherever he goes, even selling ice cream bars, which I thought was the stupidest thing in the world. But it worked.
It worked, yeah.
That's so about it. Again, and I mean Hulk Hogan, right? Hulk Hogan's got to die for stories to come out on what he was quote unquote really like, right? So in the end, you're talking about him, aren't you?
Yeah, unfortunately. See that? Yeah.
Business.
It sucks. It sucks because you don't want to admit to it, but yeah, I mean that's the truth. I mean, whether you love the guy or hate him, you're still talking about him. He gives you a reason to talk about him. That's the bad part.
And wait till you see him coming back.
Yeah. I heard he's jacked though, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
he's going to make the thing is, he still gives 110% in his matches.
Yeah.
I mean, every match that I've seen him in, at first I thought this old guy's ain't going to be able to do nothing. But the hits and the beatings that he's taken over and over and over again. I mean, again,
I don't know if I could do it. Like I just turned 42 and I'm just no way. Once my wrestling was done, my career was over. I had no desire to put my body through that again. It was fun while it lasted, but I am out of shape. I don't like. Yeah, I'm good. So
I mean, these last 3 pay-per-views with him, man.
Yeah,
I was like, my God, man, this guy.
I was impressed. I really was.
I mean, you can't. I mean, he's given 110%, and he is putting people over. But I think it was part of his contract. I think somewhere because he never did a WrestleMania, there were certain things he wanted, and so you negotiate, and they gave it to him. But he's also eaten a lot of crow too. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. All right, if we can get that randomizer going. If we can get the randomizer going.
If we can get, I'm sorry, I shouldn't do that.
I know. Hold on, let me hit it.
That's not appropriate. Oy.
All right, let's see. We got
oh God.
Well, let's see.
You got to take this one, brother. I don't have much on this.
Given the recent AEW contract non-renewal, where do you think the Butcher and the Blade will end up?
Sheesh.
Okay, can I be the first one to just say who actually cares? I mean,
Ring of Honor.
Well, wrong banner there. Somebody popped up the wrong one. Okay, so I mean, just being honest, who really cares? I don't. Honestly, outside of certain circles, you really don't hear about these guys. You have to be one of those diehard fans that just watch every single episode every single day, that looks behind the scenes to even really know who they are. And I'm not bashing them. I believe they're great talent. The stuff I've seen at them is really good. Obviously not good enough to stay on TV and get the reactions that they was hoping they would get from them. And that happens way too often to where TV and social media wants to overhype these guys to be something that they're just not. And the crowd says a different story. When your music hits and everybody's getting up, going to the bathroom or going for snacks, then you're not a draw. You're just not. And I don't know of any place that has ever sold out for either one of these two guys. And it's unfortunate because I believe that anybody with the right gimmick, the right, whatever, I believe they can make it. But you have to be able to keep that hype going. You have to keep the momentum. They might have started off hot. You might have got a few names stirred up. You might have got a few asses in seats, here and there. But what did you do to really keep yourself relevant? And I don't see where these two guys have really done anything to put them, say, in a bigger company like WWE or even over in TNA or even anywhere else. I mean, not saying they're not good talent, but if you was to take these guys and put them in WWE right now and they come out, no one's going to recognize them. No one's going to care. And I just don't see that that's going to be fair to these guys to sit there and push for them to be signed on somewhere where they're going to flop. They're setting themselves for failure if they're not going to just take it easy, go to a smaller promotion, just enjoy your career. I mean, I know everybody's goal is to get to the big time, but if you're in it for the love of wrestling and you see that, hey, I don't, and look at a lot of these guys, they will make a huge name for themselves in the indies and some of these smaller promotions, and that's great. But unfortunately, that's as good as it's going to get for some of them. I believe these two guys, they're great, but I believe that's as good as it's going to get. AEW was the top of the mountain for them. And if they're not going to re-sign with AEW, I don't believe that we'll see them in WWE. And if we do, maybe over in NXT just for a little bit, but I don't believe I'll see them on the main roster. And if you do, I mean, it's going to be a bathroom break. Nobody's going to have any reaction to them whatsoever. That's just my opinion on the guys. Not bashing their talent. I'm just saying that they're not the superstars that people try to make them out to be.
Ring of Honor. That's all I have to say.
That's it. I mean, and that's all they're known for. I mean, that's it. Or Ring of Honor. That's it. They're going to go to Ring of Honor, have a great career, or even back in NWA. They can go NWA and be just, I mean, fantastic.
They could do, or that or TNA. But if they're going to make if they're going to get into TNA, there has to be some sort of a possible bridge to go to WWE. So if they're not an interest, again, if WWE won't take them directly, they'll put them on a sideshow first, see how they do, and if they do well, then you get to show up, and here you go.
I think a lot of problems with some of these stars, and they had a whole list of tag teams, and I've seen this recently online. They had a whole list of tag teams that were recently released from WWE, and they're like, okay, where did WWE drop the ball? And I'm like, okay, WWE didn't really drop the ball with these guys outside of trying to push them to be bigger than what they were. And the reason I say that is because it's easy to get a small crowd going. And you got shows like NXT, TNA, you have your pretty standard crowd that is going to be there for almost every show. You have a smaller arena, and you have fans that are just from a different atmosphere. Indie crowds are some of the best crowds you can be around. They really are. They're some of the loudest, some of the best, crowds, compared to selling out a huge stadium and getting a kind of reaction like Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns or somebody else would. I believe that they have this.
Femi is getting one of the loudest pops I've ever heard. I mean,
I believe a lot of times what they do is they mistake some of these smaller crowds and the reactions they're getting for like really being over. And it's easy to get these small crowds over if they're like diehard fans of NXT. Some of these guys are never going to go to Raw. They're never going to go to SmackDown. They are NXT loyals, and they're going to cheer for NXT stars. So when they go to the main roster guys, okay, there's a bigger arena. You're in a bigger pond with bigger fish, and you're just not going to compare to some of the guys that, over in NXT. It's easy to be the best of the worst. And I'll put it that way because NXT is a beginner's stage. That's where you go to start your career. That's where you go to learn to trade. That's where you go to really build your character. So if you have a bunch of people in the same thing, trying to do the same thing, it's easy to be the best of the worst. But then when you jump up there with the best of the best and you flop, then you have nobody to blame. And I believe that a lot of times, well, I guess sometimes you do. I believe a lot of times, WWE just pushes them way too quick. But
did you notice the camera angle on Solruka's soul move last night? The camera, he was stuck right at the corner just in case she botched it. And then for the replay, they edited it and showed 4 different angles of it. But they weren't sure if she was going to pull it off or not because she's so aerobatic that she just moves so fast that she misses her move. I mean, there's some of the NXT stuff and some of what I'm beginning to notice is just like I almost want to say the familiar taste of poison. There's like you can almost see what moves they're going to do before they do it. There's too much thinking. She's still so new that everything is thinking, and you can and I'm noticing that in a lot of the new stars that are coming in, they look good, but they're just they're still so green. Not everybody is Javon Evans, right? Or that's his name, right?
I think that's a lot of it too. They start off with the development stage over in WWE. They have absolutely no experience on the road when it comes to really wrestling in indies and house shows or anything like that. And they come in there expecting to be a big star. And I think the mindset of some of these people is like, hey, you know what? I'm signed on with WWE. Even though you're absolutely, straight off the street green, they come in with this mindset that, hey, just because I have a WWE contract, I'm a big star. And that's not true. You got guys that are wrestling in the indies that are 10 times better than half the stars in NXT. And that, I mean, I watch them all the time. I do security with a company right here in Georgia at these shows, and I see it all the time. And these guys are majorly impressive. And it's like, oh my God, I would love to see that on TV. I would love to see these guys in WWE. And that's the kind of experience that I think WWE needs to go for. I think they need to start looking at these indie shows a lot better and being like, you know what? We need to get this guy over here in NXT so that we can build up this character. He's already got the experience. Now let's work on this. Let's put him on TV. Let's see where we go from here. Instead of just taking people off the street and being like, hey, we're going to make you a wrestler. We're going to make you a star. It's not working for them. That's the formula that they've used for a while now, and it's just not working.
There's a name right there. Also, Jade Cargill.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. There's
Always
no
makes
doubt
mistakes.
about it. Multiple. There are multiple, and I still don't understand Julia. I just can't get that one at all. I mean, I just can't.
Here's my thoughts on Jade Cargill. Absolute amazing body. She has the character build that is just dominant. I really think they should limit her moveset. And this is why I say sometimes they try to get these stars to do way more than what they're capable of doing. Okay, if you're going to book somebody like Jade Cargill, give her, I'm talking about like the Brock Lesnar treatment. And Lesnar, when he come in, they limited a lot. And now he's capable of a lot of moves, but he was more believable as like this powerhouse. He didn't need a lot of moves. Look at Goldberg. Goldberg made a whole freaking streak off of just like 4 moves. And I mean, and took off one of the biggest legends, that come out of that era, and just absolutely no moveset whatsoever. 4 moves and the match was over with. Jade Cargill would have been way better off, and could have been, had they just booked her the right way when it comes to just walking in, squashing it, and walking away. And she has that persona. She has that like almost intimidation in the ring to where she could have pulled that off. You walk in, bam, 3 moves, slam, you're over with. And I would have believed that. And I think she would have had so much of a following had they not made her overextend her abilities, because now you see all the flaws. Now you see the fact that, hey, she's not really as good as what they try to make her out to be. But that's because they're trying to make her into something she's not. If you're going to book her as a powerhouse, make her be a powerhouse. Don't have her out here doing backflips and trying to keep up with damn Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is a one of a kind on a league of her own, But you can't take somebody like Jade Cargill and book her like you can Charlotte and expect the same results. You're just not going to get it.
Well, Jade Cargill needs 2 words, Paul Heyman.
Exactly.
She needs a manager, because she does have a great look, but she's not that good on the mic.
Mm-mm.
And unfortunately, as they positioned her, like you said, is the reason why she's had the struggle she's had. But she has stayed healthy per se. So as long as she can stay healthy, and also too, she's also trying to bring up others.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, okay, Fatal Influence.
Mm-hmm.
Those 3 have been together for I don't know how long.
All
3 of them started at the bottom and grew together. Well, obviously, Lacey got a bigger push, or Jason, her name is. I was convinced her shoot name with her, but anyway. So it's just funny how they do choose to use these workers and how they use them. Because again, look what they did to Jey Uso.
Yeah.
1 minute he's main event, the next he's not.
I don't think he was ever really main event. I mean, I have a whole different outlook on Jey Uso too. He's one of those that probably never should have been in the spot he was at. But
I mean, he was so blown up Monday night after that second round of Yeats. He was trying to talk. He was blown to shreds. I was like,
the only reason he's where he's at is because of the bloodline, because of his family. That's what really irritates me about that. Jey Uso, I'm not saying he's not talented, but the Usos are a tag team. That's what they got their build off of. That's what they're good. They're not good as a singles competition. They're just not. They're not good singles competitors.
But unfortunately, his tag team partner couldn't stay out of jail.
Thank you.
I mean, they didn't have a choice. But keep in mind, too, they would not be featuring these guys if they didn't see something. Because look at Jacob Fatu. Look how far he got. And then they pulled him back, right?
Well, when you got daddy behind the scenes boo-hooing and whining every time your son loses a match, I mean, come on, man. Rikishi's probably one of the most he's about as bitter as freaking Bret Hart right this minute. It's always whining about, oh, my boy didn't win, or my son needs to be here. Your son's a drunk that can't stay out of jail. He shouldn't even been in the main event to start with.
Well, but I don't even think again, he has been through a lot. There's no doubt about that, and he has a history for sure.
Oh yeah.
But so do I.
We all do, but I mean,
in the end, I mean, look, how many WWE stars? Look at Liv Morgan, what it did to her career, right? My favorite recent comment was the interview where she said, "Yes, but look at my mugshot. I got my eyebrows done that day."
There you go.
I thought that was freaking hysterical.
there's only so far that your family name can take you. And I really believe that they ride too much on that. I mean, with the Usos, I believe it's just, oh, well, Roman Reigns is my cousin. Rikishi's my dad, whatever. I believe they try so hard to push them simply because of who their family is. And they're not looking at the bigger picture.
Main event, but what do you think the main event of next WrestleMania in Riyadh's going to be?
Unfortunately, I don't know. I believe they're trying to
Rock and Roman.
Yeah, do we really want to see that, though? I think they should have pulled the trigger on that 2 years ago, and they didn't. They've had so many chances to do that, and they just didn't. At this point, nobody wants to see it. So
no, because you still had people every WrestleMania wanted to see The Rock because he never finished the story. He never finished any of that. It was a bunch of
that didn't make no sense. Like he come out and said, "This is what gets me about The Rock, though." I don't know. Behind the scenes, he's really starting to lose a lot of like that aura that made him The Rock to start with. Like if you've seen him at Kevin Hart's roast, right? He was straight to the point of being creepy. Like the stuff he was saying, how he was acting was like he's either completely wasted out of his mind or he's really pushing that way too hard to be just, I don't know. I don't.
He had a couple flops. He had a couple rough
flops. Yeah, those were horrible.
But again, he's also had a lot of successes too.
Way too much success to be like he's had way too much success to act the way he's acting. That's me. When you're in that spotlight and you're at the level you're at, you gotta watch what you do because that come off straight cringe when he was at the Kevin Hart roast, and you're just like,
But WWE wouldn't be where WWE TKO would not be where they are if without that push. Again, they brought a lot of people, and they thought Young Rock was going to bring a lot of people over to WWE, and it didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But what it did do, it did bring a new group, especially with the Netflix deal too, man.
A
whole nother, and then ESPN, which again brings a whole nother these celebrity things. Anyway, I'm sure you have a high spot on that.
Let's see what we got on the next high spot. Somebody wants to hit that randomizer, Are we hitting the randomizer and the randomizer? Okay. Well, let's see. Ooh. With all the rumors that are floating around, how would a WWE, New Japan Pro Wrestling working arrangement change the world of professional wrestling?
I thought they already had a working relationship. Look at how many have come over. I mean, but that goes, again, keep in mind, it's different. Business is different now. You got a lot of New Japan. You got people going back to New Japan. I mean, look at Asuka. Asuka's going back to New Japan.
I don't see where it'd be any different than what it's already has been. Because, my thing is WWE and New Japan has always been kind of hand in hand. I mean, some of their biggest stars, when they leave, they go to Japan for a while. They wrestle there. Even Hogan went to Japan for a while. And honestly, if you've never watched a Hogan match from Japan, very impressive. Way different than what
more than 3 moves.
Yeah. So I believe that it's not going to be any different. And I believe they've always, behind the scenes, I think they've always had a business deal. I think they've always had some kind of connection. And people just now are trying to pay attention to it because of the deal they struck over with AEW. I don't know. I believe that, to me, I believe all of them still have some. I don't believe there is a forbidden door, not in the sense that people think. I believe all of them are connected somehow because business is business. And if you know anything about business, I don't care if you're a rival company or not. If you know that somebody is going to help push a business and it's good for your business, you're going to give talent over. You're going to do something to say, hey, you know what? If somebody's paying attention to this company and they think we're competing, then, hey, we're going to give them this star over here, let them kind of make a name for themselves. That way, our ratings are going to go up, their ratings are going to go up, and then all of a sudden, you have this whole situation almost like the Monday Night Wars where wrestling was like at its peak. I don't think none of them are as crossed off as what they try to make it out to be. I believe behind the scenes, business is business, and there's no such thing as a forbidden door. So who knows? They all might be working together and just pulling one over on all of us. Okay. So we're going to, after this, we have a segment called, actually, you have your little segment. If you want to get into yours real quick, then we'll get into
That's a good idea. Oh, yeah. Man.
We'll do yours, and then we'll do our shoot and shout real quick, and then we're going to bring on our guest. So,
oh, my goodness, man. I got to tell you, this is really kind of personal because, you know, the way everything is going on in the world right now and this whole division of the country, there's a concern that people don't know, they don't understand what's going to take place, what's going to happen. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of doubt. But in the end, one of two things are going to happen. You're either going to get through the day or you're not. And I just think that there used to be black and white. Now there's gray. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are concerned about what side of the fence they're on, because I know the Bible says only a fool says there's no God, but a lot of people don't think there's a God because they don't want the accountability that's attached to it. I mean, who wants to be accountable for their actions? I don't. I want to be able to get away with everything, but I can't. Why? Because of other people. I think we forget where we are, why we are. I mean, it's not a coincidence, Ace, that you are where you are. It's not a coincidence that God chose you to be a part of the podcast. Otherwise, you wouldn't be. You'd be somewhere else. But there's something within this time that you're taking, that you're helping other people, you're encouraging, you're entertaining. And so there's a purpose behind that. But you got a lot of people with no purpose. They don't know why they're here. They know the things they're good at and the things they're bad at. A lot of times the things we're bad at, we get good at later in life. But yet here you have an opportunity, because everybody has their own path, right? Everybody's got their own purpose within their life of what they want to do. Some people want a family, some people don't. Some people want to be in business, some people don't. The good news is, and why I was sent to Snippets of Truth, and why I was sent to the Wrestle Talk podcast, is to make sure that it's either black or white. You either trust God or you don't. And if you don't, that's okay, because he doesn't exist because of who you are. You exist because of who he is. So now the question turns into, why does he have you here? And I think if you were able to look at professional wrestling on one side and church on another, you'd see a lot of similarities. For an example, you got a good guy and a bad guy. Same thing with God and the devil, right? Good guy, bad guy. Half the people in church wear masks, just like half the wrestlers will wear masks. You also have a referee who's kind of in the middle between it, but yet they're also part of it. So I just want you, and I want to encourage you guys tonight. And moving forward, I'm going to be pre-recording some messages because it's been so crazy for my work that I have not been able to dedicate the time. So I knew tonight, if God gave me the opportunity to communicate with you guys again, that I could let you know that the whole purpose of Snippets of Truth is to encourage, not to discourage, not to challenge anybody, but to help you find why you're here. And ultimately, it comes down to one thing: asking. Ask him. He brought you into this world. You are not responsible for you being here. He is responsible. So if he's responsible and you're going through suffering, you're going through a really, really hard time, that's your opportunity to look within oneself. In the book of Ecclesiastes, it says, in the days of prosperity, be happy. In the days of adversity, consider. You can't have one without the other. Good times, bad times. Times that money is great, times that not money is great. Sometimes health is great. Sometimes relationships are great. All of this balance, all of understanding, all of what's going on does require wisdom. And that wisdom requires you to think, and also you have the free right to petition God and question him on everything that's going on. The problem is when he gives you the answer, don't panic, because he is faithful. He has shown his faithfulness over 500 episodes, in case you didn't know. He could have shut this show down years ago. You know how many times they've tried to quit? But it keeps coming back. Why? Because it has a purpose. And it doesn't matter the number. How about the growth within the number? How about this podcast hasn't stayed the same in 500 episodes? It's gotten better. The introduction's getting better every time I see it. So again, I just want to encourage you guys to be patient with yourself, to be patient with God. He knows what he's doing. This is not the first generation he's dealt with. It's where were we 2026 years ago? What part did we play in Christ dying on the cross? None. That's why salvation is a free gift. It doesn't cost anything. But let me tell you, following a path that includes doing righteous deeds, serving others, loving others instead of oneself, that's the price. That's the cost. Because I didn't always talk about God. There are so many years I wanted nothing to do with God because I was mad at God because he took my parents away. He left me all alone at 17 on the street, on the Sunset Strip in LA. Really, it wasn't that bad. It was awesome. I had no authority. I could do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, with anyone that I wanted, and I had no one to answer to. The problem is at 31, that changed. So I don't know where you're at with him, but I promise you, he's listening. He's waiting. He loves you. He died for you. He even paid for your sins that you haven't even committed yet. I know that's another theological discussion, but I love you guys. I appreciate the opportunity. I am glad that I was available and had the energy to be able to co-host tonight, to be a part of this podcast. I have this amazing relationship with this show that I don't have with many people. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. And if you ever have any prayer requests or you need anything, Perry@paintersdream.com, 931-304-1359. That's my phone number. 227 Vinewood Road, apartment L1, McMinnville, Tennessee. So come visit. Call on the phone. Go on Facebook, Perry Hartman. Painter's Dream Productions, Snippets of Truth, Honor Thy Chaplains. My goodness. Only the Bible Network. Y'all really want to get into it? Anyway, love you guys. Appreciate the opportunity. The second portion of Snippets of Truth is a prayer. So please just give me one more minute because there are those that have missed this. And again, Heavenly Father, I thank you that you made this podcast available, that you give us this spot. You make it available every week, and I sometimes am not available, and that's why pre-recording the messages is just as important, because I've missed so many, and there are so many people maybe that have lost hope because of my absence, and Lord, you know how I feel about that every week. I think about my brothers in this show and wish I have availability. But you and you alone have opened up my schedule today, and it's not a coincidence. It's not an accident. I know there's a reason for it, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for Ace. I'm thankful for Renee. I'm thankful for Susie. I'm thankful for Haas. I'm thankful for Luke. I'm thankful for Joe. I'm thankful for Gabriel, for all of you, all these people that you put into my life. And I just ask that you continue to strengthen them and guide them, continue to strengthen and grow this show. I can't wait for 1,550. Maybe we'll be like this then, but we're still going to be here, God willing. So I thank you, Father, for all that you do, and I love you, and I ask these things by the power of your Spirit in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, in whose name I pray. Amen. Okay. Next.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, dude. I needed to hear that. I really do. And that brings me into the next little section. Now, right here at the very first of the hour, guys, we're going to do one more little section that what we call is our shoot and shout. And I'm going to make mine quick because normally I can get very long-winded on these things. And, if my backstage person to hit the shoot and shout music, if we got time.
It's just one of those days when you don't want to wake up. Everything is fun, everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you want to justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet's to stay away, motherfucker. It's just one of those days. It's all about the he says, she says bullshit. I think you better quit letting that slip, or you'll be leaving with a fat lip. It's all about the he says.
Oh man, yeah, that's inspiring. And my shoot and shout is actually, it goes really hand in hand with what you're talking about, and it's just, you never know what somebody's going through. Just treat people good, and just smile every once in a while. Be nice to people. I work in a place to where I am cussed at, yelled at, treated like crap pretty much all day long, and it's very easy to get into the mindset and the spirit of just being hateful to people. And people don't know what you're going through. And, it really hit me about 2 weeks ago, was the anniversary of my wife passing. It's been almost 20 years. And, literally passed a month after our 1 year anniversary, 2 weeks before my birthday. My birthday was this past Saturday. So it's this. Thank you. This past 2 weeks has been a very emotional roller coaster ride. And I'm at work and I'm having to go through my normal day like nothing's wrong. And I'm, emotionally, I'm in a wreck, because it's been 20 years since my wife passed. It's been, my anniversary, all these things that's going on and stuff like that. And I'm just like, wow, and all these people are just really coming up to me, just the worst. They expect so much out of me because, my job is to be there on call, basically when they snap their fingers. And so it hit me that people really don't know what you're going through. Here I am, I'm struggling spiritually. I was struggling mentally, emotionally, trying to keep myself together, pushing throughout the day. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude, these people are looking at me. And, I guess because of the fact that I had learned to just put on that face and walk through life like it was nothing. And what really got me was how many of these people are going through their day with a fake smile? How many of these people are going through their day, struggling with so many things that I don't know about? Here I am being a complete prick to these people because they're bugging me on my day off, or they're bugging me when I'm trying to get something done. And I have no clue what they're going through. They could have had like the worst day, and then all of a sudden a pipe bust, and now that just adds to their problems. And they're coming at me out of frustration. They're coming at me out of just emotional distress. And I'm sitting there just being so rude to them because they're bugging me when I'm trying to get my job done. And I don't know what kind of day they've had. And it really hit me because I'm like, I could be a prick sometimes. I'm not going to lie. When I'm on the job, please don't talk to me. And, I can't stand it that I had to stop and really reevaluate not only myself, but just that whole idea of just people in general. So that's my shoot and shout. Just be kind to people. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what's going on with their head, their mind, their spirit. And everybody that smiles and everybody that's cracking jokes, because I crack jokes all the time. I use humor as my scapegoat. I always have. And humor is a way to hide a lot of your pain. And a lot of people go through life doing that. So you don't know what they're going through. You don't know who's wearing a fake smile, a fake laugh, just anything, so just be kind to people, just show love regardless of what the circumstances are. And you'll be surprised of how much of a change that would make in somebody's day and how much that may mean to them later on. They could be years down the line and they pop up and be like, you know what? This person was nice to me that day. And that could be the one thing that really stuck out and stopped that person from going home and sadly taking pills or putting a bullet in their face or something. You know what I'm saying? You never know, because honestly, I've had it happen to me. It was just one person that was nice to me that day when I had hit the end of my rope and was fixing to call it quits. And somebody called me and said something completely random. And I'm like, that stuck with me. And that changed my whole mindset that night to where I was like, oh my God, I'm fixing to be really stupid if I do this, So you never know. Anyway, that's my shoot and shout. But you got anything to add to that outside of your snippet of truth?
Yeah. People might not read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, but they read us every day. Mm-hmm. We're the fifth gospel. The question is, what do they read?
That's it. There you go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as much as y'all are here to see us, y'all definitely didn't come here to see me. The man...
They didn't know I was going to be here. This is either a bonus or a curse, one of the two. They're like, damn it, I didn't want to hear that now. I didn't want that truth. Guess what? If you ask God for an answer and he just delivered it, Just thank him and keep moving.
And that's it. Well, guys, it is time to bring on the man of the hour, the guy that we have all been here to see, the one I know y'all tuned in to see, Mr. Alexander Anderson. We're going to bring him in, and he is yep, there we go. So they popped him in before I had a chance to fully introduce him. All right. So this man is a world champion, being as I didn't get a chance to finish that before somebody brought him in. Mr. Alexander, how you doing?
All right, you guys.
Oh, man. Hey, thanks for coming on. So what's going on with you? How you feeling today?
I'm a little bit beat up from this past Saturday defending the championship, but I'm all right. I'm still kicking.
Hey, you defended, though. That's all that counts. And it don't matter. You still got the belt. All right. Man, so tell us about yourself. Like, just where you from? I mean.
Okay, so I heard you guys talking earlier. I'm actually from Stuttgart, Arkansas.
Okay, Arkansas.
I was raised for most of my life in Georgia. I live in Austin. I graduated from Douglas County High School. I've only been back in Georgia in Arkansas about 5 years. I've been wrestling for 4. So I've been at it as long as I've been here.
Okay, cool. Well, they said they mentioned Douglas, and I'm like, yeah, you're about an hour up the road from where I'm at. I stay right here in Tifton, Georgia, if you've ever heard of it. So, yeah.
I stayed in Douglasville for about 8 years.
Okay. Yeah, not a bad little place. I mean, good little spot.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your story? What's your background? What got you into wrestling? What was that moment when you popped up and said, you know what, I'm fixing to get into wrestling?
It was kind of an accumulation of things. I was working at Kroger, stocking shelves. I really didn't have much going on. I tried to join the Marine Corps, but I'm an asthmatic. They found that out. They wouldn't let me join, so I kind of just fell into working. Things got repetitive, and I wasn't watching wrestling, but I was kind of keeping up with the news a little bit, trying to get back into it. And Walter and Ilya Dragunov had that match during COVID with their empty arena. I had worked a 12-hour shift overnight, got home, and went across the street to my homeboy Diz's house. We sat and watched it with no expectations. I didn't know anything about either of the guys, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, I could probably do that, you know. And then I kind of just started telling people that I was going to be a professional wrestler. I had no idea how I was going to do it. I didn't have any plans, any money to do it, but I knew for one thing I wasn't a liar. So eventually I was going to have to figure out how to do it. And I like to say I got really lucky. I ended up moving to Arkansas on a 3-day notice. Just had to drop everything and move. My father was really sick, and his doctors were out here. I couldn't maintain on my own, so I came on back. Soon after that, I found out that my girlfriend was pregnant, so I had to find a car, find a house, find a job, all that good stuff in a really, really short amount of time. I finally got our first apartment, and it just so happens there was a wrestling school 15 minutes down the road. There was the Bumps and Bruises Pro Wrestling Academy 501 branch under the OIWA, Sir Mo's old spot before he passed. I saw him posted all over the place. I'm like, there's no way that's Sir Mo for real, you know what I mean? But my girlfriend at the time, she persuaded me to go. I just went and just took off. Took the worst bump probably anybody's ever seen on my first one. Saw it on camera and just said, nah, that's not it. And I just been pedal to the metal since then. And like I said, I'm in practice now.
And you said something very important. You said your old lady was very supportive and pushing you into it. That is something that people don't realize. It takes a toll on family, especially with the family life and being on the road and trying to be there with your kids and different events. And that is a blessing on its own to have somebody being supportive. A lot of us didn't have that at the time, even when I was in it. So I'm glad you said that, man, and I'm glad you had that blessing, to help you out with that.
Yeah, it's even extended further than that. Me and that girl are not together anymore.
Oh.
She's still very supportive. Still talk to her every day. We have a daughter together, but I've been taking care of her son even longer than that. So that's my boy as well. So as long as I'm a part of their life, she's gonna be a part of mine, and she does support. I just actually had a newborn. She's 2.5 months old.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm so dedicated to wrestling. I had her that morning, went to work, finished out my day, and then came to practice the same day.
Oh man, that's so cool.
I got things I want to take care of. I don't have a whole lot of time. I'm about to be 28 in August. I'm pretty good. I think I'm pretty good. I just need to be in front of the right eyes.
Oh yeah, man. So at this point now, I mean, you've got the Soars Championship. What's your goals? And I know it sounds really corny because everybody says, "Oh, hey, my goal is to keep on it," and stuff like that, or keep it. So you've got the championship, you've defended it. What's your goals from this point out? I know, with this particular title, what's the aim here as far as with this one? Just keep it as long as you can keep it. Try to just take it a different direction. So what's going on with that?
For me, the championship, the title itself doesn't necessarily matter. Anytime a company is going to put a championship, a title on me, I'm going to hold it and defend it as best I can in the most high level matches on the card every night. I'm big on storytelling, so I try to tell a good cohesive story. Right now, I don't really have any plans. After Mopaz, just a lot of stuff's falling apart. But we're working with what we got. I got I'm sure you heard of Barrett Brown. He works for us or work with us. He's on my list. I gotta have him before I drop the belt, whether it's to him or I beat him, which I'm pretty sure I will. But that's another story.
Oh yeah.
But also, I'm not sure if you heard of Dante Smiley.
I mean, certain circles, I'm not really familiar with him, I gotta admit, but
he's been the top guy around the OIWA as long as I've been in, probably the last 10 years or so. He's beaten Austin Ariel, not Austin Ariel, I'm sorry, that's another guy, Austin Aries, James Storm, Josh Alexander, PCO, list goes on and on and on. And just so happened the last championship that I had, he took it from me. So I'd like to defend this championship and just get that lick back. After that, I wanted to defend it outside of Texas. I've done that multiple times already. I defended it in Vegas, WrestleMania weekend. So, I'm almost happy. It's just somebody got to be hungry to take it from me by now.
Man, there you go. Now it says you were an extra for WWE. Like, what was that like?
That was really, really cool. My coach got me the opportunity. Kind of a last minute thing. I was supposed to wrestle in Tennessee that day. The day before, I just something to say, check your email. And I checked, and Gabe Sapolsky had sent the email that they need extra talent. And this is the go home SmackDown before WrestleMania with Rock and Roman.
Wow.
All those guys. I didn't know what I was doing, what to expect. I had done it before when they came to Little Rock, but it was like during the blizzard. There was nothing going on. I think Jinder Mahal and Seth Rollins were the main event. So, it's a Little Rock show. So I got to watch from a monitor this big with 8 other people around me. That was still cool, though. But coming down, being able to go through gorilla position and come down the ramp and stand around the ring, and even being on camera for the 3.5 seconds that was an amazing experience. Getting to shake hands with The Rock, rubbing shoulders with a lot of people that I would never expected. It gave me a little bit more confidence because it made me realize I'm a lot bigger than I think I am.
Oh yeah.
Because I had a lot of size on AJ Styles. He may be wider than me, but I'm definitely taller than him. So it gave me some confidence that I may be able to make it to that point one day.
Oh yeah. So is that like a goal? And I know that's an obvious question. Is that like a goal of yours is to get it, like say WWE or even say AEW or TNA, something like that?
So honestly, I have to say wherever they're going to pay me the most, whoever is going to pay me what I feel like I deserve, and I'm definitely willing to earn it. I'm not saying that they owe me anything. That's nothing. But it doesn't matter what umbrella I'm under as long as I'm getting paid. That's the whole goal in wrestling, to go home and be able to pay your bills doing this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right now I'm not getting paid a lot of money, so if JCW want to sign me for $75,000 a year, I'll take it.
Hey, that works. Hey, that's one of the most honest answers I think I've ever heard on something like that. Just go where the money is at. I know everybody has this idea that WWE and WrestleMania is the place to be, and that's their lifetime goal. And as a wrestler, you kind of always dream of that. Who doesn't want that WrestleMania moment, But I think that's just it says a lot about your character. Very modest, very just straight up saying, hey, look, my goal is to provide. My goal is to, be the best I could be wherever I'm at. And that says a lot about you, man. So definitely wish you the most success wherever you go, because that's what we need to see. We don't need to see people just thinking, "Oh, I'm a great superstar. I'm just gonna stick to just one business." I mean, man, just go where you can go and just be the best wherever. So
be the best everywhere you step.
so you had a little background in football, is what I'm seeing, right? All right.
I
So
did.
how was that a shift? Was that something that you was trying to pursue before the wrestling, or was that something that you kind of wanted to do at the same time? And a lot of wrestlers do have that background. They have the football background, and then they kind of get into wrestling. Is that kind of what yours was, or was that more of just a different change of direction altogether?
I really didn't like football. I liked it. I have a love for it. And still, I definitely have a respect for it. But I never had the mind for it. I couldn't understand. I could read plays and stuff like that. I could hit hard. I could run. I could catch. I could tackle. I was everything that they need defensively. But like, if you put a playbook in front of my face, I have no idea what I'm looking at.
I had the same problem.
But it did teach me a lot about discipline and regimen and dedication, and having a real respect for all the attributes that you need to be an efficient and productive wrestler. You know what I mean? Like, I remember the first time I was in the weight room playing football. I was with the starting nose tackle and the starting strong safety. And they asked me how much I could bench. I said 185. I just said put a 45 on each side. I don't even know how to read weight. And I got to like 3 reps at a set of 10. I got 3. I said, grab the bar. I told dude spotting me, grab the bar. And the nose guard said, he told the guy spotting me, he said, you gonna lift it or he gonna die. And if you help him, I'm gonna beat you up. And then walked out the window. So I've kind of had that mindset about everything. Like, either you're gonna do it or you're not. I mean, there's no sense of complaining about it. There's just the stuff we gotta do. I paid $1,400 to go and open a show in Italy. Didn't get to eat any food and got lost and had to spend the night at the airport for no money.
Oh wow!
I mean, but I got to wrestle in Italy. You know what I mean? That's just you pay to play around here, unfortunately.
Oh yeah. So what's the moments that has really stood out in your career so far? I mean, everybody has road stories. Everybody has, you with the popping up on WWE. I mean, that had to be a great. But as far as like some of your matches, some of your experiences with some of these companies, what is one that just stands out that you just took so much pride in? You're like, you know what? This is the match I'm going to show everybody, to show them who I am. If you want to see me, watch this match. What's your moment that stands out above everything else?
Honestly, I hate all my matches. I'm just too much of a perfectionist. But if there was I would say my OIWA Television Championship match against Dante Smiley, where I lost, ended up breaking my elbow in that match. I have a triple threat where I defended that championship against Damian Daystar and what's that boy name? Javante X. And I dislocated my knee like 4 minutes into that match. I had no idea until like halfway through, and still had to push through and finish some of my best work. And I would say with Devion Black. Though if I'm going to show anybody a match, it's probably going to be one of those. But I have a critique for all of them that make me not even want to watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to do match study tonight for this weekend, and I'm just so not ready for it.
Oh man, you just and I love the fact that a lot of us are our own worst critic, and we're like, God, I could have done so much better. And you could have the crowd eating out your hand, but you're like, this sucked, So, and I completely get it. I'm an artist myself, and I can paint the best landscape. And I've had it sell for thousands of bucks, and still hate the painting, and I couldn't stand it. But so, as far as some of your best inspiration getting into wrestling, the guys that you train with, some of the guys that taught you growing up, what stood out more as far as some of the advice that you was given getting into the business that really helped you outside of, push for the best and keep pushing?
So, unfortunately, I didn't get to spend a lot of time with Mo, but I think the best advice that I got was trust the process. Because a lot of people come in expecting to just have whatever they want or just have it right then. But a lot of the guys who deserve those spots, they are getting their time now. You know, you just have to be a ball player. You have to be a team player, and wrestling's not just you. You know.
Yeah.
And then so like even now, my end goal in wrestling is to be a coach. I like coaching. I like to wrestle and all that, but I get hurt a lot. Unfortunately, I've got hurt a lot in a short time, and I want to do it as long as I can, but I can't do it for 30 years. But I do like to help as much as I can. I nitpick as much as I nitpick myself. I nitpick anybody else with respect. And, you know, I don't like to overstep any boundaries. But that was probably the best advice I've ever gotten. Just trust the process, even when being mature enough to say I need to take a step back to recover or rest or any of that stuff. And now I'm at the point in my career about 4 years in where it's starting to make sense.
Oh yeah. Have you thought about like opening up your own school, being like a trainer, helping to coach these guys? Is that something you are, you know, even from just a management standpoint, say, you know, you're not physically in the ring, you're still on TV, you're getting exposure, but you're like that Paul Heyman type role. You get what I'm saying? Is that something you'd be interested in too?
Yeah, maybe not the manager role. I don't think I want to take away from anybody else. You know, I'm not the best talker. I can talk, but I can talk for me. You know, I can't talk for anybody else. Maybe I'll be able to pick that up later on down the road, but as of right now, I'd rather just be completely behind the scenes, just shaping the future of wrestling, doing my part to shape the future of wrestling. Because as you know, there's a lot of wrestling out here. Not all of it's very good. There's not a lot of training out there, and but it should be. My inspiration to getting into wrestling was Walter when he came to the WWE. That's the start and end of the conversation. I've always loved wrestling, watching The Undertaker and all that, but I never thought it was even an option until I saw that match. And I was like, that's the end goal. If I had anything like a moment that I wanted to get out of wrestling, I just want to match with him. Have your WWE championships, win your Royal Rumbles. I just want to match with him. I don't even want to win. I just want to be able to say I was good enough to even get to stand in front of somebody as good in wrestling as that.
Oh, you know, man, that'd be awesome. Man, you know, that's the goal, man. Just to be that exposure, just to be there, just to say you've done it. I get that. That's it.
I can take that and turn that into the school, and that's hopefully the end goal.
Oh man. So I mean, if you have you kept up with any of the more recent, you know, shows and stuff like that? Have you watched any of the more recent WWE shows? Anything?
I probably haven't watched the WWE show in years, but I try to keep up on the stuff they post on YouTube.
Oh yeah. I know the world of wrestling, the landscape has changed a lot, even from back when I've done it. It has gotten more of the acrobatic, more gymnastic type stuff. Is that a style that you think is like hurting the business, or is that the future of the business? And I always ask people this now because some of us grew up more old school with it, and some of us are into that new stuff, or some of them are. What's your thoughts on that? I mean, is that something that you struggle with some of these younger guys and some of these newer people? Is more of the athletic parts, or is it something that you think is helping the show out? You know,
it really depends on where you look at it from. I think that all parts of wrestling, like everything, can belong in wrestling. There's a time and place for it. Like it used to be the Hulk Hogan's, the big muscle heads that they only had a couple moves or whatever, but they had the personality. Then we went to the Attitude Era. I mean, but all of it still, everybody loves everything. It's just there are certain waves, and right now people want to see that. People love the Will Ospreys, the Ricochets, the Javon Evans, and I have all the respect for those guys. I can't do that. I won't even do it.
I'm not even
going to try to do it. But I think you can do all of that. You can be funny. You can be a powerhouse. You can be scary. You can do all that in the same match. But the psychology kind of gets lost in that a lot of time. And that's where I started to tune out. Like, just certain things shouldn't be happening. Or if you want to build somebody, like build them. Like really put your time into building them, especially if you're going to put them up against somebody who's already built and solidified. It's not going to hurt them. It's only going to bring up the next people. And that's almost the problem that I'm having now with my championship reign, because I need to step away from wrestling right now, but I can't because there's nobody really built for that spot. You know, anybody that I can lose it to, I'm shooting up at. There's nothing wrong with that, but I mean, as a vet or one of the older, more experienced guys in my group, it's my job to bring up the guys beneath me. So I'm in Arkansas, but I mainly wrestle out of Texas at SOAR. But I'm bringing guys from my new school because my original school closed. I'm bringing guys from my new school to SOAR to replace me, hopefully. And that's just how I look at the business. I mean, it's a time and place for everything.
That's it. So what inspired you as far as your persona, as far as the character you want to portray, you know, on camera, in the ring? What was kind of some of the inspiration for that? You know, a lot of people, they, you know, credit certain wrestlers, certain trainers. Just who made you who, you know, you are as far as your persona in the ring? What was that inspiration?
Honestly, okay, if I have to give any inspiration, like personality wise, I would have to say again, Walter. But it's only because my passion and respect for the ring itself. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I didn't really have any influences on my persona. I wouldn't even say I have one. I mainly wrestle as me. There's no difference. I go under the moniker Pressure Made because that's what made me. You put me in the worst possible position, I'm gonna find my way out and become better every single time. Like I didn't expect to be Dante Smiley. I didn't. He's been in the game for 12 years, but I wasn't afraid to get in there with him. I was going to, and I almost beat him. You know what I mean? That's the name of the game. It's life inspired me to wrestle. It's the same thing. They're metaphors for each other. And as hard as life has been on me in the last couple of years, wrestling has been just as hard. So I don't have to play a character. I was forged through pressure.
And so now, as far as important, like how important is that? Not just for you, but like say if you was telling somebody else getting into business, how important would it be for somebody to stay true to themselves, stay true to their natural self, not just play a character, not just play this persona they want you to play, but to put your natural self into the ring? How important is that as far as where your career goes, how you're portrayed, and how far you get into business?
I think it's super important. When you're trying to play somebody else, you can't even have fun. You know, I mean, you're too focused on trying to be this thing. And like if I hear anything from any book or from any show, I hear them say, have fun. And that's the whole point of us getting there and doing it. If you're not having fun, you might as well not be doing it. But if you don't know who you are or what you even stand for, it's going to be kind of hard to portray that to the people. Because I'm not a big promo guy, but the people understand me. They look at me and say, hey, you look like you fight. Yeah, that's what I do. And I just lean into that. If somebody's 8 foot tall, get in the ring, and I'm standing in there, he want to fight me, we're just gonna fight. I'm gonna lose, but we just gonna do it.
Hey, that's it. Yeah.
And
you know, that's part of just growing up down here, even in South. And I know it's pretty much like that everywhere. And that's one thing. Growing up down here where we was at, that was very important, was to just go for it. You know, take a loss sometimes, man. At least you stood your ground. At least you done. You know, you showed yourself, and you know, you stood up and you stood your ground. And
you got to take a loss to be the boss.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. And I mean, sometimes that's another question too. And for anybody younger that's getting into it, some of us has already learned that lesson the hard way. How important is those losses to your career? You know, because a lot of people's all about the wins and all about I'm at the top of the mountain. Well, what got you to that top of the mountain? How important was those losses and those lessons losing to get to where you're at now?
I mean, they're the most important lessons, really. It humbles you. It should, because it if you look at it the right way, it makes you remember that you're just a cog in the machine. You know what I mean? Which it sounds bad, but it's just a real thing. Like the wrestling, it will go on without you. It has. People have died on shows, and the show still goes on. That's just wrestling. Whether you agree with it or not, there's a lot of things that I may not personally agree about wrestling, but that's what comes with the package. Along with losing. Like if you just beat everybody, then who are you? You beat a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, or when you finally do lose to one of these nobodies, like, and you didn't do your job bringing them up, like I was talking about before, then who is that on?
Exactly.
I mean, you lose in real life. Nobody's invincible. Everybody's gonna have their day. It's waiting on them, whether you want to believe it or not. And you might want to get over there real early in your career. You're just not gonna make it far. People are not gonna want to work with you. People are not gonna want to put you over. Like,
Exactly. And I've worked with them too. I could not stand it, but they were some of the most selfish ones. There's Susie. I know Susie going to try to ask you some questions. Susie, you freezing up on me, or are you there? Fix your hair now. Come on, you got this. So while she's getting situated here, what is a dream match of yours? What is somebody that you just, if you ever have a chance to, you'll take that shot and just, or even if you never get the chance, just somebody that you want to be in the ring with, just that dream match. What is your ultimate dream match?
I'm not gonna say his name again.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say his name again. I'm said him too many times. Man, I've been away from the product for a little while. Maybe a Daniel Bryan, somebody really technical, somebody like with a really tight, strong style. I like those type of matches. Takeshita, I like him a lot. I think me and him could put on a crazy match.
Oh yeah. Oh, that'd be. Yeah, you situated there, Susan.
Can you all hear me?
I can hear you.
I think so. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I know you were sitting back in the green room and you were here in the show. When we were doing the high topics, or when the gentlemen were doing the high topics, did you have any thoughts on any of that stuff? Do you agree with some of what they said? Do you think they're out of their minds, or?
I mean, I agree with some stuff, but again, a lot of stuff I was out of the loop on. The Butcher and the Blade, I've heard about them for forever. I've seen a couple of their matches; they're really good. I mean, but it's just one of those parts of the business they don't draw. I had to go and actively look for their stuff. I've just never seen them. But to be fair, I don't just sit around and watch wrestling. I forgot what else.
What would you say? What would you say is your favorite match of all time? What's the one match you've done that you just will never forget?
Probably Taker's and Michaels, the first one. I probably had to say that one. Undertaker's gonna be always my favorite wrestler ever. Shawn Michaels is an in-ring genius, of course. Oh, yeah. It actually took me
I've met the Undertaker.
I'm sure that's daunting.
Yeah. I met the Undertaker once, and I was not happy with him. And I was one of those crazed fans that kind of started. And of course, I'm only 5 feet, so he's 7 something, and I'm like, sticking my finger up in his face. And after the show, I remember telling my brother, who walked off when I started running my mouth, saying he didn't know me. And I remember saying to him, "That guy could have killed me. Why did you let me talk to him like that?" So it hit me later, but
some people just get away with that.
Well, oh yeah. Well, one of my main goals for being on tonight is we have a thing here we like to call our game show challenge. I have a few questions that I'm going to get you guys here in a minute. And Will here thinks that he is like the top-notch guy on this. He thinks that nobody can beat him. So I'm wondering if you would like to go up against Will in our game show challenge tonight.
Sure. I'll take a crack at it.
Y'all have introduced that every single time, and I've lost every single one. So,
well, and we do this with all of our guests. And before we get into the game show challenge, though, we would like to say again, thank you for coming on, and welcome to the Wrestle Talk family. And we hope that you won't wait too much longer before you come back on again, and sometime in the near future when maybe you win another title, we'd love to have you back. But let me see if I can find our game show challenge music. Yeah, we have music, if you can believe that. Let me see. Jeez, man, where is it? Game show challenge. Where's it at? Oh, here we go.
That was a lot louder.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the Wrestle Talk family. Well, yeah, maybe. Welcome to this week's installment of the world famous Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge. Tonight's contestants are scheduled for the best 2 out of 3 falls. And our contestants are the Wrestle Talk Podcast's own Ace and Alexander Anderson. Tonight's Wrestle Talk Podcast is same name. In a few moments, I will give you the last names of wrestling personalities that share the same first name. When you think you know the first name, shout out your answer. The person to answer 2 questions correctly wins tonight's contest. Now, if you shout something out and you're wrong, keep shouting. If you come up with something else, just keep shouting. You don't have to stop just because you get it wrong.
Okay.
Well, okay, so question number 1. Wolf, Wayne, Wright, Hammerstone,
Alexander.
Alex. Very good. First fall, Alex. Okay, question 2. Walker, Eden, Fish, Heenan.
Michael. Bobby.
No, Bobby. Yep. Will, you done lost already, dude.
I know it, man. You know what? My problem is it's brain to mouth connection. It's here, but it ain't coming out quick enough.
Well, I tell you what, we'll do the 3rd one, just so it's not a complete and total shutout. Okay? Let's see. The 3rd one. Von Erich, Adams, Hero,
Carrie.
Bay,
Chris.
Jericho, Chris. You got shut out. You shut out.
I was gonna say Carrie. Myself.
I thought Carrie too, because I mean there's a couple of them with the Carrie last and all that, but yeah, it's all good. Hey. You said
but you know what?
Jericho, and this is Jericho, and I'm like, wrong one.
Yeah. So let's give our winner his winning music.
I think they do
now,
that just to see how many of them I can lose back to back.
It's a good thing for you. There's not a title involved.
Oh, man.
Although,
right?
then again, I won't mention that in the FWWC, I am a double champ. You are not a champ. That's okay. We won't go there.
It'll happen one day.
One of these days, maybe. But yeah, Alexander, we just want to thank you again. And can you shout out to our groups and tell them on social media, how can we follow you? How can we watch your matches? And what can we do to keep an eye on you?
Oh, you can find me on Facebook at Alexander Anderson. That's my real name. And you can find me on Instagram at AStone1, ASTONE_1_. Excuse me.
All right.
Okay.
Oh man. So
that is great.
Well,
and where are you gonna where are you gonna be in the next couple weeks if people in your area want to find you?
This weekend I will be in Tuckerman, Arkansas at MACW at the Valiant Arena.
Okay. Awesome. And if you're ever in the West Virginia area, you can look me and my brother Haas up, and we'll take you to a couple of shows around here, maybe even get you in the ring in a couple places around here. Be awesome to see you. And
for sure.
If you ever find yourself around Georgia, you can look that guy up over there.
Oh yeah, I got to come back home soon anyway.
Hey, there you go. I got to be back in Douglas next week, so I mean like I said, I'm an hour away from Douglas. I'm there all the time. We have property there that we tend to, but yeah, it's a neat little town. I like it there.
For sure, I would love to wrestle in Georgia, so you'll be hearing from me sooner than later.
Oh shoot, yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome. Yeah, you know what? If he comes to Georgia, let us know. Maybe Haas and I will come down.
All right.
We'll have to
then I got to put up with y'all two, though. Man, come on now.
No, you don't. No, you can sit on the other side of the ring. No, I'm just kidding. No, we want to say again. Yeah, we want to say again, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a great interview. We've loved having you. And once again, welcome to the Wrestle Talk Podcast family.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys for having me. I'm going to go and try to finish this practice up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, have a great practice.
Y'all as well. Y'all have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right. You know, sitting backstage, I gotta say, you and Perry had a really good show, and I noticed that Perry has dropped off. So, Perry, if you're still watching, thank you for filling in, and thank you for being here. Luke had some things he had to take care of and was unable to be here tonight. Maybe he might be back next show. We'll see. But if not, I'm sure that Perry or myself would be glad to sit in and help out. And we won't leave Will to do it all by himself because fans don't want to see all that.
I mean, this is the only reason they tune in right here, outside of Alexander being on here now.
Oh my gosh, really? Does your conceit know no boundaries?
I mean, if it did, it wouldn't be me.
Well, this is true. This is true. But no, seriously, folks, we do want to say real quick here, one other thing that we want to do before we go is we want to say thank you to all of our sponsors. And as soon as I find them here, we'll get them up there. And one sponsor in particular that's here is, of course, Mr. Will and Doomed Outfitters. And Will, tell them a little bit about Doomed Outfitters, man.
All right, so if y'all hadn't heard about Doomed Outfitters, and we had to take a small little break, unfortunately, but we are getting back rolling. Doomed Outfitters is a place you can contact if you want custom merchandise, if you want just any kind of goofy t-shirt. Our business is not made to be taken serious when it comes to the t-shirts, but we do have like serious designs. If you want a t-shirt, if you want merchandise, if you want a fully customized title, and what I mean by fully customized title is I don't care if you have the idea in your head and you draw it with a crayon on a piece of paper. If you put the idea and you give it to me, I will make a title to fit your every desire and your every dream. If you've had unfortunately, and I'll put this out there, if you had a business that wanted the biggest prick award, we make those too. Unfortunately, we've had to make a big title that was nothing but a golden, thing. And that was, hey, a company paid for that. We do Hall of Fame titles, that y'all have seen with the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Make yourself one.
Yeah. So just pick just any design. I mean, I know too many people, you're going to pay out the butt for anybody else that's going to make you a custom title. And you're going to pay thousands of dollars. We are cheap. We're reasonable. Everything's made right here in America. And we ship it straight to you. It's all American made, and it's fully customized. It don't matter what you want on it. It don't matter the shape. It don't matter what it is. If you got the idea, you give us the idea, we're going to make the title. And the same with the shirts. If you got an idea for your merchandise, you give us the idea, and we're going to put your merchandise out there. So that's what Doomed Outfitters is. So that's it.
Awesome. And, next week, folks, right here, same bat time, same bat channel, so to speak, you'll see the WDWA Elevation with Haas and hopefully Dashing Donnie Diablo. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. It's a great show. This weekend they have a all women's show coming up. So they'll be talking about that on the next show, on their next show. Haas, that's mean.
You gotta love Haas. He's always got something to say.
Oh, I know, right? But we here at the Wrestle Talk Podcast would like to thank all of our great sponsors. We want to thank the Retro Zone, Painter's Dream Productions, which was Perry, who you saw earlier, the Independent St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame, Doomed Outfitters with Ace, World Domination Wrestling Alliance, the WDWA, and the FWWC, the world's premier fantasy wrestling league. It's not your father's fantasy wrestling league, and even though the word fantasy starts it, we are far from being a fake Fed. We have a blast in the FWWC, and I know you heard me giving Ace a hard time a little while ago. You create your character, you do promos, we do matches, you make picks on who's going to win the match. Yeah, and we have a great time. Every now and then we're able to all converge in Kansas City on poor Night Owl and Dewan Mills, and we all show up there and we We have bowling tournaments, and we've done all kinds of stuff. And, the weekend we do watch parties, and it's just a really great time. And even though I believe the F should stand for family, because despite what you see on the page, we are just that. We're a family.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a great time.
And where else are you going to compete for real custom titles? I mean, and this is something else the group we try to promote is, when we do our tournaments, you're not just getting like a little replica of some title with a name slapped on there and a logo. You're getting a truly customized title that is strictly for the FWWC. So that is something that it's made for our company. It's made with our brand, with our own particular logos. If you see right there, one of our champions. So guys, if you
here, hold on.
She's having a little trouble.
Okay.
So guys, if you always had this, so if you've always had this fantasy of being a wrestler or had this dream of being a wrestler, some people can't, and that's the thing. We don't discriminate. We don't do. We've had guys with breathing machines, wheelchairs, speech impediments, stuff that normally would cut you away from trying to pursue your goal in the ring from a realistic standpoint, or being like physically in the ring. Some of us can't do it anymore. This gives you a chance to live out your wrestling fantasy and not have to deal with the physical parts of it. So, guys, by all means, if you want to be a champion,
not have to step in the ring.
There you go, without having to get beat up. Join the FWWC, and it's like she said, it's a family environment, family group. Just a beautiful thing.
And I'll tell you something else that's really cool in our fantasy group that you wouldn't get in real wrestling. When you win, you truly earn it. And like I've had my belt for 2 years, and it's not because somebody has decided I'm going to keep it that long. It's because I've had to fight for it every time I've wrestled. And before me, our host Haas, he held on to his hardcore title for 3 years. As a matter of fact, he lost it at exactly the 3-year mark.
Yeah.
And he is now working on a higher up title. Him and I are the tag champions. That's why you see I have 2 titles. And, you win the title from somebody, they'll mail it to you, they'll send it to you, and you'll get to parade around with it. Every WDWA show, anybody who knows WDWA will tell you, these belts are there. I take these to every show I go to around here. And some of the wrestlers have given me hard times. Some of them have tried to grab them from me and use them on their opponents. And I've been like, don't touch my belt. But, Haas had his actually stolen one time. And the guy held it for a couple of months and then finally gave it back to him. But so these belts have been put, they're not just replicas of some other group. These are good quality, great products. And I'm proud to say that Mr. Ace makes all our belts. So they are belts that we're proud to carry. And I know I personally am proud to walk around with them. And I like knowing that I do Ace proud when I'm walking around and people say, wow, where'd you get that? And I say, hey, you want one? Call Doomed Outfitters. And Doomed Outfitters will take care of it. And I send people to him. So if you need that kind of thing, Ace is the man. And, if you want to join a wrestling group that is just not some stupid thing online and you don't get based on your role play or you don't get based on your promo, you get to do all of that and win real titles. Join the FWWC. Just come check us out. Join as a fan. And then once you watch a little while, if you like what you see, come on.
That's it. And, before as much as we thank our sponsors, we also got to thank the fans that keep it going. We got to thank the people that tune in every single day. And we have some of the most loyal people. They've watched we got 545 episodes, almost 550 episodes. And we have some of this crowd that has been here every single episode. We see them in the comments every time. I mean, just loyal fan base. And I love it. I love the fact that people are so tuned in to trying to make this a success and make it what it is. And without that, we wouldn't have a show. So huge shout out to all the fans,
And you know what? We thank our sponsors, but and this is not to toot my own horn, but I am actually a fan sponsor, becoming slowly a host, sponsor. But I'm doing a little more hosting lately, but which is great. And they have actually given me a title. I am the Wrestle Talk Podcast's official women's wrestling expert analyst. So thank you for that. Night Owl. He is our what do you call him? He's our producer.
Mhm.
And so I am proud to say I'm going to do that. And if you, as a fan, want to sponsor the shows, you can buy stars. Look in the comments, buy the stars, send us stars. We'll get that. Or hit one of us up here if you want to be a fan sponsor too, and we'll set you up with a way to just make a monthly contribution, and it helps to keep Wrestle Talk podcast on the air. So,
Good.
join us each, every Tuesday night. If it's not us that's here, it's the Elevation podcast with Haas.
Mhm.
So just be sure to tune in. And
of course, the last
thank
Thursday
you
of the
for showing-
month, we have FWWC Tonight. So we do that every last Thursday of the month.
right,
So
right.
yeah, something else, you work
And,
on.
Well, you do a lot more of it than I do, but I do help produce it, and never know when I might show up. You never know. Might have to come
Okay.
knock you down a few pegs. You just never know. Maybe a headshot with my title.
Oh,
But
man.
we want to thank you guys for being here. Episode 545, and wow, we are getting close to 550, and just another 50 some episodes, and we'll hit 600. So
Oh yeah.
we hope that we'll still be here at 600, and as long as you, the fans, want us here we will be.
That's it.
So thanks again for watching, and hey, any parting words there, Mr. Ace?
I think you said it pretty well right there. I mean, just I'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
All right. Peace.